G-Spot Liberation Army's Revival and Prayer Camp. Can I get a G-Men? G-Men! We are going to turn you on. The Rebels Burlesque is bringing our revival back home to Asheville. And naturally, it promises to be a very special evening. Thank you, brother. I want to see you after the show.
Burlesque is just an amazing, amazing venue for women to be appreciated and to be celebrated, and to let those of us who want to show our bodies to the world have that be received in a very professional and beautiful manner.
We're like those smart girls that have a great sense of humor, that love to have a good time, that don't make you feel guilty. You know, we're funny, we're fun, we're smart, we look good.
We come to bring the positivity and passion of the G to this stage. Oh, great spirit of the G, I call on you and ask that you bring us direction.
Sex sells. We all know sex sells. It's been selling for centuries. It'll always sell. However, we're taking that basic concept that we all agree with, and we're throwing in the comedy and the politics and the taboo and the satire and the wit and the grace and the dance. And it's like this stew of amazing hotness.
I'm sort of old-fashioned, so I think when I think about burlesque, I think about, you know, the way it was really done when it was originally done, as sort of a really wonderful outlet for people who maybe couldn't go and see Uptown Theater or whatever, and they had a good venue for political satire.
A reading from the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was burlesque, and the G said, "Let there be tease, for it is the tease that frees the imagination." And then there was the bump and grind, and it was good, real good. And the G said, "Do not be afraid if you are naked, for if you are naked, it is okay."
Why, thank you, Sister Paige, for that inspiring devotion.
Moving right along.
Well, they're just like waiting to see the next thing, and it's wonderful because they're captive. They don't know if they're going to see a little TNA next or if they're going to hear a good story, but either way, they're with us. So it's really, it's fascinating to watch people be available for the sex and the education.
Hey, Billy, I'll meet you for a quickie later. What do you say?
As you may have noticed, I don't resonate well with this spiritual mumbo-jumbo. So, for now, please give your attention to science!
So here it is, the Rebels Revival. Nothing is sacred. We're gonna touch on everything. I mean, obviously, yes, the Rebels Revival, it has two meanings for me. First, of course, a religious revival, and that lets people know, obviously we're gonna deal with religion, but we're gonna put you in that place that's gonna bring you higher, give you good energy, make you feel good.
Female power is pretty heavy stuff when it's all gathered in one group, and really just feeling that kind of channeled energy in such a large amount it's very overwhelming.
Well, first of all, nothing is sacred is about religion, and no one ever wants to talk about religion because everybody has their own sort of taboos about it, or what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And, you know, being able to burlesque something is being able to talk about it in a light that's comical.
It's burlesque. We're gonna hit everything. Everyone will be offended. The point is to not take it so seriously. If there are things that really are important to us, we really should be able to dissect them, to tear them apart, to tear them down, to laugh at them, to build them back up again. That's what it means when nothing is sacred.
GODTV. My name is Jim Halfbaker, and this is my co-host, Tammy Faker.
I can never get over how much love comes into the room for what's going on stage and how much it's accepted and just run with. I mean, people understand it. They seem to understand it instinctively.
A cult of sex-stream terrorists known as the Rebels are holding our great nation hostage.
There's this group of women who are outside the law and have formed their own band of superhero burlesque performers that are rebelling against contemporary society and worshiping or searching for this nebulous force called the G.
Let us pray. Are you there, G? It's me, Frau Lippenstift.
The rebels claim allegiance to the G. They do not worship the W. In fact, they belittle him.
Obviously, the G refers to that, secret, elusive moment of sexual release that is just over the top and better than anything else, and like that sort of brief glimpse into enlightenment at that second.
These dangerous, fundamental feminists threaten our very way of life.
This story is so terrible that we must warn you. Watch this at the risk of your own soul.
I call on you and ask that you bring us direction. I invoke the North. Yo, North, where you at? I am North. Tall, firm tree, evergreen and full of sap. I represent the coming of the G, erect from the earth I am rising.
For me as a writer, I would say one of the most rewarding things about working with the Rebels is the collaborative aspect. We can bring some ideas to the group, and then the group will take those ideas and run with them and turn them into something that you never really expected them to.
Now I ask for the energy of the South to bless us.
I am South. I am the fertile valley and a river runs through me. I have a moist delta in which all things grow, dark and bushy.
Food is one of my things. It's one of my little hang-ups. And I get to mock it, I get to celebrate it, I get to do all these things with it in the Rebels in a positive way that, once again, I'm totally in control of. Like, I may be salivating over a piece of cake and dancing with cupcakes and rubbing mustard all over myself and shoving food down my mouth and crying over cake, but shouldn't everybody be being able to, work out their demons like that?
It's interesting, kind of the level of seriousness of not taking yourself seriously. It just really impressed me. I love that kind of humor. I love that kind of just energy and action.
Plus you get the comedy side of it as well. Just really lots of fun, taking those mainstream ideals and giving them a great twist, and let everybody loosen up just a little bit. Everybody's so wound so tight that really the epitome of burlesque also brings in those kind of flavors as well.
What are you doing, Buffalo?
Oh, I was going to contemplate the sound of one head clapping.
I didn't even bother doing that in there. You know, that's an old confessional booth. It's full of guilt.
If you have the crisis of faith, you must get offeth your ass and doeth the thing that scares you the most, for that is the way out of the rut. And I think that pretty much speaks for itself.
Yeah, the Rebel scripts are very female-centric. Everything comes out of ideas that the rebels have and that the rebels are.
Well, alright, okay, you win.
The girls will come up with these ideas that I never ever would have thought of in a million years because, of course, I'm not a woman. But I can kind of see where they come from and apply them into the whole Rebel script matrix, and that's really interesting. It's changed my perspective on a lot of things.
In this day and age with, TV and magazines being, you have to look a certain way, rebels are saying to Asheville and beyond, no you don't. You could be sexy no matter what.
They're intelligent. They're a little avant-garde. They hit you where you're not thinking. I think they've got a lot going on.
The balloon act is totally absurd. First of all, it's ridiculous. I'm coming out in a balloon dress, and people know what's gonna happen. It's a classic act.
Born to be kissed. I can't resist. You are temptation.
We're just women with chutzpah and talent out there making it happen. Just like the audience.
It is so women positive and woman focused and sort of like the thinking girls strip show.
I just felt like the beauty, the grace, the sex appeal, the comedy, the politics, everything about it was so smart and sexy and funny.
Burlesque is another movement of revolutionary work, and it's just another place that I've tapped into. And so yes, in essence, I am a burlesque star.
I don't know, I think we're all starlets. I think the rebels just have this magic about them that it's in your gut and your heart and your tits and your ass and you bring it, and we're all starlets.
And I think a lot of people think, I want to do that. She's having fun up there. That girl is having so much fun up there. I am popping balloons and simultaneously starting to do ridiculous things with the balloons that sort of, make people laugh at me in a way that I'm totally in control of. I mean, I shove my face in balloons, I'm rubbing them like breath, I am acting completely funny and hysterical. And as much as my character is being really, really funny and a comedian, I also am very sexy in that act too. So bringing those elements together, and then the fact that I'm a ham, I just go for it. When I'm on stage, I just let it go. I let it all hang out. I do not care. And people like that. People love seeing me rock it because of that. Because, I got some tits, rolls, and ass. I got a little bit of something. I get really rowdy and really, really funny. I make the audience beg for it. I have this little gimmick that I do before I start twirling my tassels that I really bring them in. I make the crowd like roar and get so excited to get that, what I'm about to give them.
Do not be ashamed if you are naked, for if you are naked, it is okay.
Kind of takes the guilt out of sexual, that whole sexual thing. People definitely feel guilty about themselves, and I really think that it strips that away a little bit and gives you a reason to look and be like, wow, I'm being encouraged to look right now. And as a man in a society where people have all these taboos around everything, it's really nice to be encouraged to look at everything. Big, small, short, everything, tall, it was all there. And that was cool.
The multimedia part of the Rebel shows has always been my favorite.
They say their leader, Frau Lippenstift, is the reincarnation of Eve, who they claim is not the original sinner, but the original rebel.
Something about film and video, you can just take the absurdity level up just a little bit more, and you can go deeper into characters that might not ever exist in the Rebels, but exist to tell the story. And the performances and the zaniness that we've gotten out of these is amazing. And particularly Nothing is Sacred, that's all I hear about. The video, oh my God, the video, because it's so funny.
Eve is responsible for the banishment of all mankind from paradise for all eternity.
Well, now, Jim, Eve was the mother of all creation.
Eve was a temptress.
Yield not to temptation, 'cause yielding is a sin. Love the Lord Jesus, tickle him under the chin.
Stop! I cast you out, you damn puppet!
And then you have, bam, the live acts that just come like zingers and bring the energy up in the crowd, and the music is really, really live, and people are having a good time.
We thank the G every time we hear their joyful noise. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pharaoh!
Shout and suck face.
You gotta walk it like you talk it. And I think that's a great thing for everybody just in their everyday life. It's like if you feel a certain way, then you gotta express it and you have to live authentically.
It's this wonderful exchange, you know, and I mean, we're real people and we're giving it to real people. It's just, you know, it's a genuine connection, I think.
We have reasons, you know, to make people feel good about themselves, to give people an outlet to laugh, to provide more opportunities for women to take part in the world of sex. You know, I mean, you got to get signed into a strip club in half the strip clubs out there. You know, I mean, where do women go when they want to like get teased and turned on, and do it all before midnight?
It's got a good message behind it, and I think that that's why we all feel so blessed to be a part of it, because they're really taking it to a different level. Once again, it's not just stripping. It really, a lot of it is playing homage to ancient times, a lot of it is playing homage to the new times, and really a lot of innovative, creative thinking that's gone on in the middle.
I had people coming up to me after the show saying, you know, oh my God, my girlfriend that I took to the show had this amazing epiphany, and it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna go buy new underwear. It was like, you know, very, very life-changing stuff. It was great, it was wonderful, because it was so positive, and it was so gospel.
Call now, 1-800-GET-G-NOW. Only 99 cents a minute.
I feel like, you know, we all have sex, so have fun with it and take control if you need to. Be aggressive.
It is time to uprise and rebel. It is time to uprise and rebel. It is time to uprise and rebel.
We're gonna turn you on. We're gonna bring you to power. We're coming down the line, strong as you can be. We're gonna set you free. We're here to celebrate the
Is that all there is to love?